Well, hi everybody, and thanks for joining me for lunch. So what we have on the menu today is seafood soup with beef from a company called HMart. I did a kimchi soup in a previous review a month or so ago. You can look at that and check that out. That was pretty good. So we will see how this checks out. This whole pack is relatively low calorie. It's 15.9 ounces and it has 110 calories in it, so that's cool. Just to munch on as a side is prepared shredded squid. I love this. This is basically squid jerky, and I've been eating it ever since I was a kid. So that's great. To wash it all down with, I've got this bottle of Basil seed drink with pomegranate flavor. And there's basil seeds all floating around in it, and kind of, well, it's semi-gelatinous in there maybe. But we'll see how that is. I've never had one of these. These were all purchased from HMart, which is a big Asian supermarket on the west side of Baltimore that I go to once a month. So what I'm going to do is open this up, pour it into this bowl, and heat it up in the microwave, and then come back and we'll check it all out. So we've got to get this pouch opened, and I don't like to rip things. So here's today's featured knife. It's the Columbia River knife and tool, and it's the M16 10K SF. And it's a small little thing. Tonto blade. I've never carried this, so it's in pretty pristine condition and very sharp still. It's got a double hilt, nice thick locking mechanism in there. Just as an aside to see what it looks like, this is the big brother. This is the M21 CRKT, and you can see it's pretty small compared to this, and this is actually too big to carry. I used to carry this as an EDC knife, and it just got too unwieldy. But we'll get back to this in another review and talk about it. This thing, I looked online, and it's not too badly priced. It is on Blade HQ for like $32. So let's see what it does here. Yikes. That smells pretty good. It's got almost like a, yeah, it's got a very beef brothy scent to it. And this has been refrigerated because it's not really a shelf-stable product. So I'm just going to pour this out and show you what it looks like, and then we'll heat and eat. So come on, baby. There we go. That's pretty much just for a couple little leaves of seaweed in the back. That's not really worth getting. But this looks pretty decent. I think I'm going to get some hot sauce to add to this when I do eat it. So let's come back in a few minutes, and we're back. This thing is piping hot. Let's take a look at this suit we have here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 bits of meat, maybe 5. We'll call it 4.5, 4 3/4. And the seaweed leaves are actually pretty big. I don't think it's going to really, I've got a pair of chopsticks just to kind of eat the seaweed a little bit easier. Let's take a little whoa. Here we go. Some broth. It's a nice, light broth. I was expecting something a little more, really more heavily miso'd up, but I guess because it's a Korean dish, it's not. So it is a light beef broth. And it's not overly spicy. It's very simple. This is hard to eat. Let's get a piece of meat here. It's thinly shaved, sort of like a steak sub sort of slices. Fatty, which is good. Boy, I didn't really anticipate this soup being tricky to eat because these seaweed leaves are just humongous. Still very good. I don't think I'd buy it again. If I was going down the aisle and saw it, I'd pick up another pouch or two. I think there were some other ones there that I didn't pick up, and I'm going to try those. It's got kind of because of the seaweed, it sort of has a low tidey kind of ocean smell to it, which I don't mind at all. I like. Some people may be put off by that. Well, while we're on this, let's try this. These little dried squids. So these are thinly cut up, and these have a very seafoody taste. I never realized how sweet these were because I started with this first, which really doesn't have that much sugar in it. I don't think it has any sugar in it. And these are actually very sweet. But they're very chewy. And I used to, as a kid, you know, watching TV, I would just eat this whole bag, just like a bag of popcorn. Okay. Good times. Let's try spicing this soup up a little bit. I'm going to try, Tabasco has a new product, scorpion sauce. And this stuff is killer. This is, I bought 4 bottles of these on Amazon maybe 2 months ago. And literally been using it every day, and I went through the first bottle yesterday. So this stuff is really, really hot. But let's jazz this up a little bit. Let's see what it's done here. Now that makes it a Korean dish. Boy, that's really good now. This has really kicked up a lot of good notes in the beef broth, and it's pretty hot. Speaking of which, let's open this thing up. So this is a 290 milliliter bottle, which I think is just under 11 ounces maybe. Okay. Let's see how this pours. Oh boy, that smells It smells like really fruity. It's almost got like an Inca Cola, that Mexican soft drink sort of smell. Almost like bubble gum. It's pouring out very thick. So, all right. Oh boy. It's a thick drink. Those little seeds have a little translucent sort of like a capsule or a pod. It's almost got like a orange pulp, like a pulpy orange juice sort of texture. But boy, oh boy, that's good. This has a lot of sugar in it. This has 35 grams of sugar in this bottle. So, which is, I think a can of real Coke has like 25 or 28. So this is sweeter than a can of Coke. So you don't want to be drinking this thing all day. Yikes. But for demonstration purposes and YouTube video, I'll make the ultimate sacrifice. This is a lovely lunch. Well, eating the rest of this is more the same as me going yummy yummy and whatnot. So I'll do that off camera. So thanks a lot for stopping by. And I think I'm going to do another lunch video tomorrow, since it's Sunday. And I think the menu is going to be backcountry turkey chili, which I bought a couple pouches of that from MR Depot in California. When I bought a couple French RCIRs, I just added that to the little pack, and they weren't too bad price-wise. So I'll get into that tomorrow. Thanks a lot. See you soon.